Hello, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, and trauma recovery coach. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I don't have any notes. Today I decided to just say something that's on my mind. I had gone for a nature walk today. It's amazing when you go outdoors how all of a sudden you might get revelations and epiphanies and some amazing spiritual downloads and really come to a new perspective and understanding on certain things that you have experienced in your life. And so today I want to talk about what it means when you go no contact with the narcissist. And so for some people, the narcissist could be an ex-spouse. It could be an ex-boyfriend and girlfriend. It could be a family member, such as your mother, your father, grandparents, siblings, cousins, etc., etc. For everyone, it could be slightly different. And we all have such unique stories, and yet there's so much commonality involved in this because as I share my story, so many of you say, hey, this really resonates with me, and it sounds like you're telling me my own story. And I think the beauty of this is we do come to this wonderful understanding that we're not alone and that we're stronger together. And in this YouTube community, collectively, so many of us have experienced narcissistic abuse and so many similar experiences as one another. And today when I was taking this nature walk and I'm hearing the birds chirping and the sun shining and just a beautiful, beautiful day, I just started realizing and coming to this conclusion that when I went no contact with my narcissistic mother, it was my final word to her. And so actions speak louder than words. Instead of telling a narcissist, I'm going no contact with you, or I'm cutting ties with you, or I'm ending this very unhealthy, toxic, manipulative relationship with you. Instead of like explaining yourself and defending yourself and arguing, and this goes back to the Jade technique. J, don't justify yourself. A, don't argue with a narcissist. D, don't defend yourself to the narcissist. E, don't explain yourself to the narcissist. So the Jade Method really works great. I use this technique all the time whenever there are people that may be stepping all over my boundaries, disrespecting me, very, toxic people. So we have to understand now, when we really start looking at, the whole experience of going no contact, and I'm talking full-blown no contact with a narcissist. This means we're not calling them, we're not talking to them, we're not writing to them, we're not interacting, say, on social media, we're not text messaging, we're not visiting. It is completely the end of all communication with this person. And so the final word is actually nonverbal. So when you do go no contact with the narcissist, it is a nonverbal message to this person saying, I am done, I have had enough, and I will no longer let you control me, gaslight me, manipulate me, abuse me, bully me, and hurt me. And so it is a final nonverbal message. And it really does speak loud and clear. So think about this. For example, I didn't have these big talks with my mother before I went no contact with her. And people could say, okay, why? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because I had already spent 50 plus years of my life explaining myself, defending myself, arguing, trying to justify my actions. And it was just ridiculous that she wasn't understanding, that she was living in denial, that she played the victim card, that she did the blame shifting and accused me of being a bad person. And so we have to go back to the basics. Why are most people going no contact with a narcissist? And especially now we're going to zoom into your parents because this is a big deal. let me first say this. The average person who does cut ties with, whether it's your narcissistic father or mother or both, you did not do this impulsively. You did not do this out of like some spontaneous action. Instead, this is something that was your last resort. For me, cutting ties with my malignant narcissistic mother was the last resort. I had already tried gray rock for years and years and years. Decade after decade. Back then, I didn't even hear of the word gray rock. I didn't even know what it meant. And yet, I was doing it and it failed. So for some people, gray rock is not successful, or it's just very temporary, meaning you might gray rock in the beginning and then you realize, wow, this is not working because they're still manipulating me. They're still gossiping about me. They're still ostracizing, triangulating relationships. They're creating smear campaigns. They're retaliating. Oh, now they're punishing me because I just set healthy boundaries. So we have to come to the conclusion that for every individual who does go no contact with a narcissist, this could look very, very different from individual to individual. That's because every one of us has a very unique circumstance. None of us have the same background. None of us have the exact same history. None of us have the same parents. And yet, again, many people can listen to my story and say, wow, your mother sounds just like mine. Or, isn't that amazing that your toxic siblings sound just like mine? So while there are similarities, there's a lot of differences. There might be different scenarios that have taken place. For example, if your narcissist, the person who was really toxic and absolutely malicious towards you, happened to be a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, an intimate partner, that's not my story. So I didn't experience that. But yet I have so many friends who have experienced this. I have had so many people share their stories with me about their narcissistic spouse and all the crazy making, the 3-ring circus that happens, the hoovering, the love bombing, the cheating spouse. They shared their stories with me, and I'm telling you, it breaks my heart. So please know that even if that situation doesn't align with mine, I understand, because I do understand narcissistic personality disorder. I understand narcissistic abuse. I understand the lies, the deceit, the betrayal, and how it cuts like a knife, especially when the narcissist will intentionally hurt you, harm you, scapegoat you, and they do everything they can within their power to abuse you, punish you, and they try to control you. And so the one thing that really stands out that is my experience, and it could possibly be yours too, is that when I had that moment of finally deciding I have to stay no contact with my mother, and I cannot break this. So I had first been no contact with her a few times and had broken no contact. And there is no shame, there is no judgment in that for me or for you. Because trust me, it is really brutal when you go no contact, especially with a parent, because they will set their flying monkeys out to hurt you, to harm you, to spy on you, to contact you, to send you hate mail, to retaliate on social media, to try to destroy you. And that narc is going to play the victim card. Oh, woe is me. They're the sick, elderly, narcissistic parent who tries to use their sickness and their medical conditions to play out this victim card and act like, oh, they're so innocent. No, they're not innocent. We look at their track record. They neglected us as children. They abused us as children. Or for you, if it was your spouse or intimate partner, or maybe a friend or a boss, whoever it could have been, who was the narcissist in your life, they have this track record. And we're talking years and years and years of lashing out at you, at beating you down, at brainwashing you. So many of us have had or still have a trauma bond with the narcissist. That's another video. You could check it out. Trauma bonding of the narcissist. It's another name for Stockholm Syndrome. It's real. You don't need to be a hostage in this situation, but you are a victim. And it's a very, very destructive relationship. And so I have experienced this. It is absolutely pure insanity to stay in an unhealthy, unstable, abusive relationship with an individual who is our blood relative, who doesn't respect us, who mistreats us, who intentionally hurts us, who lies. There is so much deceit. There is so much denial. There is so much deception and dysfunction in that toxic dynamic. And there's a lot of codependency within it too. And so for anyone who has been there and done that, you understand what I'm talking about. I know that you get it. Now, there's some people who will never grasp family estrangement, or they'll never grasp why you left a narcissist. For some people, they'll say, but it's your mother, or it's your father, it's your sibling, it's your husband, it's your boyfriend, it's your girlfriend, on and on and on and on. They have all these excuses, lame excuses. And let's be honest, there's no excuse for abuse. And anyone who stays in an abusive relationship will never, never fully heal. We must understand, if you remain in the relationship that caused you harm and hurt you, you can't get well if you stay in a sick, distorted, destructive, abusive, malicious, unhealthy, psychologically just absolutely crazy relationship. This is what it's all about. So we cannot get well if we stay in the same environment that made us sick. And not everybody can leave. I get it. There are some situations and circumstances where people may be unsafe. Their lives may be threatened. There may have been a narcissistic spouse who said to you, if you walk away, I will kill you. Let's call it out, man. Let's call the spade for a spade. There are some situations that are quite dangerous, and that is why some people cannot leave. Now, in my situation, I was living independently away from my mother, and so I was able to leave. I was in a situation where, regardless of her threats, regardless of her lies, regardless of her betrayal, regardless of the gaslighting and the manipulation and this big victim card that she loved and thrived on so she could get narc supply from other people, such as my sisters, who probably have a trauma bond to her. Again, lots of codependency in that family, which is my family. And I'm no contact with every individual in my family, including my sisters. And so we must understand that once you go no contact, and there could be this nonverbal message, and your message is saying, I'm done. Enough is enough. I will not stand here and allow you to continue to intentionally hurt me, whether it is physical, whether it is mental, emotional, etc., because again, abuse is abuse. And those who continue in these toxic dynamics will continue to be abused, including in gray rock relationships. Now, of course, there is a time and a place for gray rock. For some people, it can work. If you are divorced, separated, or perhaps no longer with the ex-narc, but you have children together, good chance you're going to have to stay in this relationship. It's very unfortunate. It's very traumatic. It's extremely stressful. I guarantee you there is so much BS going on in that whole dynamic, because if you have children together, the spouse might need to pay child support, alimony. There's so many different things that come along with these ended relationships, such as the end of a marriage with a narc. And so some people have to gray rock. They have kids. They're attached to the narcissist for as long as they have children. Now, at some point when your kids grow up, you may have the opportunity to go full no contact. Once the kids are out of your home, graduated, independent, grown adults, especially much older adults, like once they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, things are going to change in your life. Please have hope that things will improve for you if you're in a gray rock situation that's extremely unpleasant for you right now. Hang on to hope, people. Down the road, things are going to change for you. Things could improve for you. So just kind of hold on tight. Try to lay low in the whole gray rock experience with a narcissist, which means, don't let them get a reaction from you. They're going to try to push your buttons. That's why they're going to bait you. They're going to provoke you. They might hoover you. Oh, they're going to say they love you. They want you back. Oh, dear God. They have so many unbelievable tactics. I'm talking sly, smooth moves. There are some people, these malignant narcissists are very clever, okay? Some of them, on the outside, they might look like great people. They might look like good people. They might be actually good-looking people, too. That's not who they are on the inside. On the inside, they are cowards. They are egotistical. They're mentally unstable, psychologically delusional. They go on power trips because they want to control you, control your mind, control your behaviors, control everything in your life, including your relationships with your children, with your spouse, with your friends, with your family members, with strangers. They will go to great extremes to control you and overpower you. But here's the beauty of going no contact. It's a nonverbal statement. And what it says is that, dear narc, you can't control me anymore. You can try all you want. You can try to hoover me. You can try to bait me. You can try to gaslight me. You could spread rumors about me. And oh yeah, trust me, they're going to. This is common. This is all par for the course. But ultimately, no contact is a nonverbal statement that says, I've reclaimed my power. I have control over my life. I am going to rebuild my life without you, the narcissist. And that is basically actions that are speaking louder than words. And it's these actions. They're a nonverbal statement, but boy, oh boy, do they speak volumes. Not just to the narcissist, but to the flying monkeys. And it tells them how brave you are, how courageous you are, how they underestimated you. They thought they could treat you like dirt for your whole entire life. And now they're realizing you have far more strength than they ever gave you credit for. You have far more guts, grit, and grace to stand up to them, to push back against them, and to say, oh no, it ends here. It ends now. It ends with me. I am breaking the cycle of abuse. Yes. And this is what we do. And this is what no contact's all about. And there is a strong non-verbal message that you're done. And they're over, gone, kaput, the end. And it is forever that you will never speak or communicate or have any association with this narcissistic person, whoever it may be in your life. And let me tell you this. There's hope for recovery. There's hope for rebuilding your life. There's hope for growing your faith in the dark, in the pit of despair, when things could feel really, really unpleasant in those beginning stages of no contact. But I've been down that road. I've done that and I've been there. And it is now, this 3-year journey of mine where I've come around the bend. I have been on the mend. I am doing good. I have changed my life because I took back my power. And this is what it's about. This is how we regain our sanity. This is how we find peace that surpasses all understanding. This is how we grow. We grow physically, we grow mentally, we grow relationally, professionally, spiritually. This whole experience of going no contact teaches us that we're so much stronger than we ever imagined. You know, back in those days, the early days of breaking this relationship, basically it was already broken. It was already dead. We don't just out of nowhere decide to go no contact for no reason. People have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reasons why they are estranged, especially to their parents who are toxic and unhealthy and unstable. So understand that this entire experience, it will expand you. It will bring you to a totally different, unique place in your life where you will see things in a very, very different perspective. How I feel today is different than how I felt 3 years ago. And I'm sure if I carry on another 3 years, I will be in another totally different place, an even better place in 3 years. And so we are evolving, we are transforming, we are like that butterfly who's in a metamorphosis. When you're still in the relationship with a narc, you are in that dark cocoon. And when you break free of the trauma bond and the toxic abusive relationship with a narcissist, it's like you're bursting through the cocoon and you are a butterfly and you are beautiful and you're expanding your wings and you are soaring high. And once you reach new heights during the healing journey, you reclaim yourself. You find a new identity. You find out how strong you are. You find out that you have so much more bravery than you had ever fathomed. So it is just such an incredible experience. And so I just wanted to share this today and to let others know who are either A, you're thinking of going no contact, B, you just went no contact with a narcissist, or C, you've already been no contact with a narcissist, to understand that this is a journey. And there are ups and downs. But I could say this experience has made me a stronger person. And it's not the narc who made me stronger. It's not the toxic siblings who made me stronger. It's not those lies, deception, and betrayal that made me stronger. It's me who made myself stronger. Nobody did it. Nobody did it but me. I'm the one who made the decision. I'm the one who hung in there. I'm the one who did the hard work. I'm the one who stayed strong during times of despair and grief and loss. Because trust me, when there is an estranged relationship, there is a season of grief, of loss, and we must know that the tears are essential. They're a big part of the healing journey. If you are feeling all kinds of different feelings, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, whether it's grief, whether it's despair, whether it's loneliness, or whether it's something totally different. Maybe you're feeling joy. Maybe you're feeling relief. There is some relief. I'll be honest. When you go no contact, there is a huge, huge relief. And you reach this place in time where you realize that life is so short. And it's up to us to determine what we do with our lives. And we can't change the narcissist. We can't make them be nice to us, to treat us respectfully, to treat us with kindness and love. We can't fix them. We cannot change them. The only thing we can fix and change is our own selves. And so if you want something to change, you are the person who will have to make some positive changes. But it's realistic, it's doable. There's so many effective ways that you can make positive improvements in your life. And so today, know that I'm cheering you on, know that I'm rooting for you, know that I'm here for you. You could reach out to me at danaarcuri.com. And if you need trauma recovery coaching for narcissistic recovery, so many of us need that. I'm here for you. I am offering narcissistic recovery, and it is coaching at danaarcuri.com. Feel free to reach out to me. While I am not yet certified as a trauma recovery coach, I will be very soon having my certification examination at the end of August 2021. And I am going to be on the road to this whole new beautiful journey of mine, becoming a certified trauma recovery coach. And so please check out my website if you would like to share with me, are you gray rocking? If so, how is that going? Did it fail? Is it working? What's going on? Or did you decide to cut the ties with a narcissist for once and for all? You know, if you walked away from the narcissist, I applaud you. It takes quite a lot of bravery. I admire all the people who are standing up for themselves, who have created healthy boundaries. Feel free to share your story with me. Like my channel, subscribe to my channel, and feel free to visit me at danarcuri.com. Thank you and have a beautiful day.